Hey everybody, it is Gordon Majak here, back with another episode of Timeless Pop, Rock, and Soul. And today we are going back to the fall of 1989 for one of my all-time favorite female vocalists, favorite female artists, and I know she is one of your favorites as well. Judging from the great response I have gotten from my previous videos with this incredibly talented singer. You know, I was looking at this album cover, and I remember this is 1989, October 89. This album comes out, and I remember this album so clearly. This record really, I think for a while there, from 1989 into 1990, certainly, and maybe even into 1991 or 92. It really felt then, and especially now, looking back on it, it really felt like this album was sort of the standard bearer of the very best of adult contemporary music. And it just had such an impact back then, not only on the charts, as we'll see here in a second, in terms of its popularity, but just it was sort of an iconic album unto itself. Such a talented artist in her prime, an artist with an incredible voice, an incredible cast surrounding her. Just nothing holding this back, and it just had such a splash back in the day. And of course, I am talking about Linda Ronstadt, and this was a huge album, man. Cry Like a Rainstorm and Howl Like the Wind. I remember when this one came out like it was yesterday. And of course, featuring the great Aaron Neville on a few tracks on the album as well. Cry Like a Rainstorm, Howl Like the Wind. Now, this album comes out there in, as I said, October of 1989. It goes on to sell 3 million copies. It's one of Linda's top 3 biggest albums of her entire career, and you already know the span of success with her career. One of her 3 biggest albums, along with Simple Dreams and What's New, and it's her 10th top 10 album. And I think up to that point, only Barbra Streisand had exceeded that. So quite a landmark album for Linda Ronstadt back in 1989. Of course, as I said, featuring the great Aaron Neville there, Linda Ronstadt and Aaron Neville team up on a couple huge hits right out of the gate with this record. There was that great ballad, Don't Know Much. That was a number 2 pop single and a number 1 adult contemporary record back there in September of 89. You jump up to January of 1990, they followed it up again. It's Linda Ronstadt and Aaron Neville doing it again with All My Life. That was another number 1 song on the adult contemporary side, number 11 on the pop side. And when we jump ahead to August of 1990, almost a year after this record had been out, it was still alive and well. And that's where we get the song that we are going to listen to, which was eventually released as a single there in the summer of 1990. And that's a song called Adios, which was, of course, a Jimmy Webb composition. And here we go again with the incredible songs of Jimmy Webb and the incredible vocal interpretive skills of Linda Ronstadt. You can never go wrong when those two team up. Linda Ronstadt got this song, Adios, up to number 9 on the adult contemporary chart there in the summer of 1990. Now, this one does not feature Aaron Neville. However, it does feature another incredibly, what's the right word for Brian Wilson? How do you describe Brian Wilson? A legend unto himself there. You'll notice Brian there on the conspicuous background vocals, and he's also a part of the arrangement on this one, lending a very definite Beach Boys flavor to the sound. And what can we say about Linda Ronstadt? I'll tell you, there's moments in this song, folks, where it's just pure Linda Ronstadt magic, and that's why I always loved this song, even from the very beginning. I always liked this one even better than the Aaron Neville duets. And there's even more music on this album that we will be coming back around to eventually later on the channel. So just such a huge album, such an important album in Linda Ronstadt's catalog there in 1989 going into 1990. And man, just at the top of her game back then on that album. Cry Like a Rainstorm, Howl Like the Wind. Little Brian Wilson flavor as well, but nobody can do it like Linda, man. And we'll talk about these vocals later on when we're done hearing the song. Let's hear it. It is Adios, a Jimmy Webb composition. You already know it's going to be incredible when those two get together. Linda Ronstadt doing Adios.
Drinking margaritas all night in the old cantina out on the California coast. Don't think that I'm ungrateful, and don't look so morose.
What can I say about this woman's voice? This happens every single time I do a reaction with Linda Ronstadt. I was thinking about this earlier. You know, it's one thing to just hit the note dead center, pitch perfect. That's one thing, and she does that, of course, so many times. But her voice has such an incredible timbre and such a richness that when she hits the note dead center, it's almost like her voice just envelops the note. She's not just hitting the note. It's like her voice just wraps around the note and just fills it. And it's just unbelievable. And when we talked about this before in the videos for the first one I think I did was Easy for You to Say, and Hurt So Bad, her remake of Hurt So Bad. God, she hits those notes, and it's just the volume. She turns up the volume on that pitch, and oh my gosh, Linda Ronstadt. Wow, every time. Okay, folks, bear with me here. I am having a moment here with Linda Ronstadt. I am going to rewind this back to where I had stopped it and pick up the rest of the song once again. I have to hear that portion of the song again. So I'm going to rewind it back here, and we're going to listen to that second verse and the rest of the song again. And just bear with me. I can't even stand it. That woman and that voice, oh my God. And I can't see. Let me see where exactly I am here. Okay, here we go. All right, bear with me, folks. I've never done this on a video, but this is just unbelievable. This is some of the most impeccable, beautiful, genius level singing that you will just ever hear in your entire lifetime. And I know I can say that about 100 different performances that Linda Ronstadt did. Okay, so I'm putting it in the context even of how insanely good her whole catalog is. But this is just some of the most incredible singing I have ever heard in my life, and I think that we ever will hear. I have to hear this again. Here we go. Unbelievable. Wow. I just kind of got all caught up in that. I just can't even believe it. Linda Ronstadt. You know, we talked in her previous videos, and I'm going to put the links to the other reactions I have done with her because I say the same thing every time. But it's just so true. You know, her skills as an interpreter are just so off the charts. I just don't know how it's just unbelievable how she is able to take the lyrics of a songwriter, whether it's someone as great as Jimmy Webb or so many of the other great composers that she's covered, you know, in her career, Smokey Robinson and so many others. It's just so remarkable and so uniquely her that she can take these lyrics that someone else has written, and her interpretive skills are at such a genius level, so off the charts. And I'm not even talking about the vocal talent, just the way her mind, the way her musical mind works. And the fact that she can make, like I've said before, that she can make an emotional connection within herself to those lyrics. That's the magic right there. She makes that emotional connection herself and creates that in that musical part of her mind with those lyrics. And then when she translates that, she has that just a direct line between her interpretive skills in her mind and just being able to then turn that and put that into her voice and to voice those emotions that she's so connected to. It's just unbelievable. Such a once in a lifetime talent, and I'm reminded of it every single time that we listen to Linda Ronstadt, and that's why we will be coming back and listening to her so many times again. This album, I don't know if you were around back then, folks, you remember, this album was just huge for a very long time, and no joke. This album was sort of setting the standard there in the late 80s and early 90s for adult contemporary, just the state of the art, right? Just great songs, great musicians, great arrangements, great production, great playing, and that incomparable talent at the top of her game. Just remarkable. The great Linda Ronstadt. Man, you're a little emotional there listening to Linda, and man, hits that note dead center, and then her voice just envelops it, and that is just pure music magic. Unbelievable. Wow. Adios by Linda Ronstadt. How about Brian Wilson all over that? Just such a cool flavor, and I think they slipped in a little Endless Summer reference there in the lyrics, which was kind of cool. And yeah, those unmistakable Beach Boys inspired vocals and arrangements, and some really beautiful chord progressions, chord changes in this song as well. And what can you even say about Linda? Just that voice, a voice for the ages. Unbelievable. See you in the next one, folks.